Hello YouTubers, Helmet Head here again, and today I'd like to talk about comforts. And what I mean by comforts is when you're on that long sort of distance ride and you kind of like the little things that make life a lot easier. So we'll start off with the cruise control side of things. Now some of these bikes have got cruise control, and that, you know, straight away you know that that's a good thing, because what happens when you're riding along for a long time, especially with your throttle hand, you either get pins and needles or it feels quite stiff, and that's not good. So the ones with built-in cruise control, that is great for the long distance riding. But unfortunately, the model of Tiger I've bought hasn't got that. And I did find, obviously, on those long rides, I get the arm and the finger ache, and with this bike I do get a little bit of pins and needles time to time. So I bought a little device, and it cost me just over a tenner. And this little device, if you can see it, is just down by my throttle hand. And basically, it's a bit of plastic that clips around your throttle. And all you do is, when you're riding along, is you slide it down when you got to the speed that you want on the motorway or on the dual carriageway, and it will then hold the throttle there. And that again is really good, because you can let go for just for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, give your hand a little bit of a rest, and you're cruising along. And it works quite well, because obviously when you throttle off, it then pushes it back up again, and then you've got full use of your throttle. So it's not like it's stiff in any way. I wouldn't say it's long distance cruise control. You can put it on there and it will hold it down for 20 minutes, half an hour. It will slowly release the throttle, but I mean really slowly. So you can get it about right, so it'll cruise for a good couple of minutes. So that's cruise control, and that's a cheap way of doing it, and I recommend it as well. It's called a throttle lock, and I bought that on eBay, like I said, just over a tenner. You can buy more expensive ones, but that's worked a treat for me, worked really, really well. The other side of things, I'd say, is heated grips. Now, heated grips are really, really good for those cold days, and you get to that point sometimes your hands start getting cold, and if you've got heated grips, you can press the button, and I have got that on this bike, and it heats your hands. The outside hand still stay a bit cold, but the inside's good, and that helps. It's very, very good. You can buy, obviously, you can buy other things that can help. Like you can buy these like mittens that basically go over your throttle and on your hands, and that stops from wind, and that's a good option too if you're doing some long distance stuff and you haven't got heated grips. And that sort of makes you think about gloves. Now, obviously, buying the right sort of gloves is essential, and I found that out before I've gone and bought some cheap gloves out of the £10 bin at the shows. And gloves are gloves; they're there to protect your hands, but some of them haven't got good padding in, and you feel the cold and things when it happens. So I bought these gloves, these Spider Enforcers, and I rarely use my heated grips with these on, because they are so good in these colder sort of months. But yeah, heated grips are another good thing to look at if you're going to start doing some distance riding. And then you've got to look at wind protection. Now, that's when you get cold again, or you get well weathered, is when you haven't got good wind protection. And on this Tiger, it's okay. It's not the best. It's okay, and you find it lets a lot of wind around the head. And I'm going to I have purchased and waiting to arrive a wind shield extender, and it's just a little thing that I bought from the good old place of China, and I've paid about £12 for that, and I'll give you a little bit of a review when that arrives. And that clips on, and you can adjust it so you can just hopefully move some wind away from the top of my head. But you need to think about wind protection, and if you haven't got some and doing long distances, they don't always look the best, but you can take them back off again. Buy yourself the bit of kit and a windscreen to get the wind protection that you need. The other side of things is seats. Obviously, if you've got yourself quite a hard seat, there's different options out there, and you can get what looks like I think it's a sheep fur or something like that. There's different ones, and they can go on your chair. They are great. Hot days, sit on them all day long, nice and comfortable. Chucks it down with rain, obviously they get soaked, so you need to bear that in mind and take them off and stuff like that. Bit of a ball ache. You've got gel seats. They are again really good on long distances. They make it a little bit more comfortable. Or obviously you can get a re-padded seat. I mean, again with this bike, I'm quite lucky. I've not put anything on this one because it's been pretty good, and so far I haven't ended up getting off going, oh, I'm in absolute agony. But that's probably more because I've got a big bum and more padding. But yeah, think about your seat, think about your comfort. And I'd like to say that's probably it for long distance riding. What I'd class as things you should probably consider and maybe upgrading to. I hope that helped with anybody that's thinking of doing some long distances for probably the first time, or they're struggling with a little bit of things and wondering what's the best kit to use. Again, it's my opinion. But anyway, if you could do us a favour as always, subscribe and give us a thumbs up, that would be fantastic, and look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye bye.